Welcome to Arizona State University's video overview on how to respond and participate in effective discussion board conversations. A major component of many online courses are the discussion board assignments. Most times, these assignments are given by the instructor for students to participate in a class discussion that is important for the development of critical thinking skills. Classroom discussions allow students to give facts, state opinions, and provide analysis while also engaging with peers in expressions of opinion through agreement or disagreement.
In order to initiate a discussion board assignment, your instructor will provide a prompt. This prompt can be in response to an article, video, blog post, or other classroom assignment. Students will then gather their thoughts and engage in classroom discussions with their fellow classmates.
Let us walk you through an example of how to participate in an effective discussion board. For this example, we are going to use this prompt.
Present a plot summary of your favorite movie from 2018. Second, discuss why this movie impacted you. Discuss both using no more than 10 sentences. Then, please reply to at least one classmate and express an opinion responding to at least one thing that they say.
To begin with, you need to ask yourself if you understand the assignment. What is your instructor asking you to do? The first part of the assignment says, present a plot summary of your favorite movie from 2018. That seems pretty simple. However, before beginning to write the summary, you might want to just confirm that the movie was released in 2018.
The second part of the assignment asks you to discuss why this movie impacted you. You must consider a movie that made an impact on your life. This could be positive or negative. How will you describe this impact?
The next part of the assignment says, discuss both using no more than 10 sentences. Now, does that mean that each part of the assignment should be no more than 10 sentences, or that both parts combined must not be more than 10 sentences? Since it said, discuss both, that should let you know that both questions should be answered with no more than 10 sentences total.
The last part says, then please reply to at least one classmate and express an opinion responding to at least one thing that they say.
I think we got that. All you need to do is read one of your classmates' responses and decide whether you agree or disagree with something they said. If you do, respond to that. Since no length was mentioned, you should respond with as many sentences that you feel is necessary to express your opinion.
Now, let's review the beginning of this discussion board assignment. The first student says,
I love the movie Black Panther because it was the first movie to feature a predominantly black cast in a superhero movie. The main character, T'Challa, is the new king of Wakanda, a hidden and technologically advanced society. There is an amazing scene in which T'Challa has to fight his nemesis, Killmonger, for control over Wakanda. During the scene, you don't know who was going to win because both men are powerful and strong. In the end, it was the rightful person who won the battle and supported the powerful nation.
While this student provided a summary of the movie Black Panther and stayed under 10 sentences in their response, they did not really articulate clearly why the movie had an impact on them. In the first sentence, the student did say that they loved the movie due to it being predominantly black cast. However, it does not connect that statement with an impact, so the instructor cannot say for sure if there was an impact. If the student had talked about the influence that the black cast had on them personally, then it would have fulfilled the second part of the assignment. Now, let's look at one of their classmates' replies.
I agree. Thanks.
This student did agree with what was stated. However, they did not explain why they agreed with it. When stating an opinion, you must give a reason so that instructors can see that you demonstrated critical analysis skills. The next student replied with,
I think you are wrong. Black Panther was a terrible movie that caused me to fall asleep.
While it's okay to disagree with someone's opinion, you cannot state that someone else is wrong for their opinion. Everyone is entitled to what they believe. If you disagree with someone, then you say so using those words.
I disagree with you because.
This student could have also explained why they think they fell asleep or what caused them to be so bored that they were able to fall asleep. You should always try to answer the question why when providing a response. Now let's go back to see what another student wrote for the initial assignment prompt.
One of my favorite movies from 2018 was Black Panther because it was a superhero movie with an important message. The main character, T'Challa, returns home to Wakanda, a country in Africa, to become the next king after his father dies. As usual, when there is a change in leadership, someone tries to change the will of the people for their own gain. Killmonger tries to claim the throne for himself and starts a battle against T'Challa. With the support of his friends and allies, T'Challa is finally able to defend the throne and stop Killmonger from doing bad things to their people and country. This movie had such an impact on me because it was the first superhero movie featuring an all-black cast. Typically, superhero movies use black actors to play the villain characters since they are systematically thought to be bad people. However, in Black Panther, black actors play the full range of characters, including the good people and the bad people. This showed the true diversity of black people, which I think is an important message for all of society to see.
Reading through this response, the instructor can see that the student gave their brief summary of the movie while also explaining why it had an impact on them. When talking about the impact, this student gave reasons for why they felt it. In articulating their opinions, it showed the instructor that they were comparing and contrasting Black Panther with other movies, which highlights their use of critical thinking skills. Lastly, the student did complete the assignment using 10 sentences or less. Let's see how other students replied to this response.
Wow, it's hard to believe, but I don't think I can remember another superhero movie with a majority black cast either. I didn't think about it before, but I agree with your thoughts about African Americans always playing the villain characters. It's good that people will see that heroes come in all shapes and sizes.
This student provided an opinion of agreement while sharing a little bit about why they agreed. By articulating why they agreed, the instructor can see that the student thought subjectively, or using their own opinion, about their classmates' initial response. Let's look at one last student reply.
I don't agree with your statement that Black Panther was the first superhero movie with a majority black cast. I think there have been a few other movies, however, these movies weren't so popular with audiences around the world. Since superhero movies are extremely popular right now in our society, Black Panther therefore benefited from people's interest in superhero movies. But it wasn't the first. Have you watched Blade before?
This is a demonstration of an excellent reply, since the student disagreed with the point of view, but not the person itself. This student disagreed with the statement from the initial response and gave a reason for disagreeing. Since both students are allowed to have their own opinions, this would be an appropriate discussion board conversation. Now that we've reviewed a few discussion board submissions, let's review some tips.
First, be sure to review the prompt to make sure you understand the directions.
Second, consider what your instructor is asking for. Are they asking for an objective response or a subjective response?
Third, make sure you answer why.
Fourth, when agreeing or disagreeing, make sure you give a reason.
Last, it is okay to disagree with someone, but remember to disagree with the point of view, not the person. We are all entitled to our own opinions.
We hope this presentation has been helpful to understand how to respond and have effective discussion board conversations.